lost, cast off, unloved, unwanted.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 origin stories of Disney villains.
Have I ever told you how I got my scar?
That's a very nice hook.
Just give me a hand.
You see, I was once like you.
For this list, we'll be looking at how our favorite Disney baddies became the villains we love to hate. Do these stories make you see these characters in a new light? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Lotso Huggin Bear, Toy Story 3.
Welcome to Sunnyside, folks. I'm Lotso Huggin Bear, but please call me Lotso.
Just as we wondered what could cause a cuddly pink teddy bear that smells of strawberries to become so evil, we were hit in the feels with an answer.
Whoa there, Missy. You're not going anywhere.
Lotso was a Christmas present for a kid named Daisy, instantly becoming her all-time favorite toy.
Daisy loved us all, but Lotso was special.
But on one unfortunate day out, he ends up getting left behind along with Chuckles and Big Baby.
She never came back.
After fighting hard to make his way back to her, he was devastated to learn that he'd been replaced.
But by then, it was too late.
Heartbreak and a newfound fear of abandonment consumed him and brought out his dark side.
Something changed that day inside Lotso. Something snapped.
She replaced us.
Number 9. Captain Hook, Peter Pan.
That cursed beast liked the taste of me so well, he's followed me ever since, licking his chops for the rest of me.
If you've ever read J.M. Barrie's original novel or play, you might know that Captain Hook wasn't always the codfish pirate popularized by the Disney movie. While Barrie never divulged how Hook ended up in Neverland, we do know a little about his life before piracy.
I am not a codfish! Ah!
He attended the prestigious Eton College and Oxford University in England, and nothing was more important to him than proper form. In fact, it seems that until that fateful incident with Peter Pan, his hand, and the crocodile, he was a completely different guy. Is it really any wonder that he holds a vendetta?
Did Pan show good form when he did this to me?
Number 8. Hans, Frozen.
Oh, Anna. If only there was someone out there who loved you.
After years of torment at the hands of his older brothers and father, Hans decided he would finally gain their respect by becoming king. But being 13th in line for the throne posed a slight obstacle.
As 13th in line in my own kingdom, I didn't stand a chance. I knew I'd have to marry into the throne somewhere.
So he set his sights on a neighboring kingdom, where a new queen, with no known suitors, was about to be crowned. However, upon learning that it would be easier to break the ice with her younger sister, a new plan was hatched.
But you,
Hans.
You were so desperate for love, you were willing to marry me just like that.
Instead, he decided he would marry Anna before killing Elsa and taking the crown. And, well, we all know how well that turned out. Number 7. Scar, the Lion King.
Have I ever told you how I got my scar?
Disney offers a couple of backstories for this ferocious feline, and in both, he's cunning, ruthless, and power-hungry. In The Lion Guard, it's revealed that the power of possessing the roar of the elders went to his head, and he turned on his fellow Lion Guard members.
That's how I got my scar!
In A Tale of Two Brothers, Scar, formerly known as Taka, meaning waste or want, is envious when his brother becomes king.
Well, I was first in line, until the little hairball was born.
That hairball is my son, and your future king.
Oh, I shall practice my curtsy.
He schemes with the hyenas to destroy Mufasa's reputation by goading a buffalo into attacking him. But it's Taka who ends up in the danger zone, resulting in his infamous Scar. From that day on, he insisted that everyone call him Scar as a reminder of that life-changing day.
That's when I became Scar!
Number 6. Judge Claude Frollo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Disney condensed Victor Hugo's lengthy descriptions to give us a very clear-cut villain.
A baby?
a monster.
In Hugo's novel, though, Judge Frollo is an orphan who cared for his alcoholic brother. Later, he took in Quasimodo out of compassion rather than duty, since he was responsible for making him an orphan too. He was a respected scholar who lived as a recluse due to his overwhelming fear of temptation and women. However, when Esmeralda enters the story, he is overpowered by lust and becomes obsessed with her.
Be mine or you will burn.
We wonder what it was about this story that screamed child-friendly to the execs over at Disney.
I'm losing to a bird.
Number 5. Cruella De Vil, 101 Dalmatians.
Cruella De Vil, if she doesn't scare you, no evil thing will.
Whether you watched Once Upon a Time's version of her childhood or read Dodie Smith's novel, the consensus seems to be that Cruella earned her name early on in life.
Anita, darling, how are you? Miserable, darling, as usual, perfectly wretched.
In the novel, Mrs. Dearly, or Anita as we know her from the movie, recalls her school days with her menacing classmate Cruella. She sported black and white plates and had a penchant for eating weird things, ultimately getting expelled from school for drinking ink.
Drop that, you horrid little scribbler.
She would go on to marry a furrier, but something tells us this marriage wasn't about love. Well, at least not love for her husband.
Oh, don't be so flabbergasted. You know I'm not mother material.
Number 4. Jafar, Aladdin.
At last, after all my years of searching, the Cave of Wonders.
Huh? Cave of Wonders?
The character of Jafar was created by combining 3 characters from the original Aladdin folktales: a sorcerer, his brother, and a vizier who tries to marry off his son to the princess.
Ah, Jafar, my most trusted advisor.
Interestingly, Jafar and Aladdin have quite a bit more in common than you might think.
People like us must be realistic.
Us.
You see, I was once like you. A common thief.
They both grew up in poverty, felt like a street rat, and were determined to prove that they're more than their status.
Steal an apple and you're a thief. Steal a kingdom and you're a statesman.
Where their paths differ, though, is that while Aladdin embraced who he was, Jafar let the bitterness of his past consume him.
If you won't bow before a sultan, then you will cower before a sorcerer!
Number 3. Hades, Hercules.
So Hades, you finally made it. How are things in the underworld?
Well, they're just fine. You know, a little dark, a little gloomy, and as always, hey, full of dead people. What are you gonna do?
While we do love the dry humor of James Woods' Hades, according to Greek mythology, the god of the underworld wasn't exactly the villain he's made out to be. He and his brothers drew lots to decide who would rule each realm, and he happened to draw the short straw. Many suggest that he was a fair ruler despite not being particularly thrilled with his lot.
But unlike you gods lounging about up here, I regrettably have a full-time gig that you, by the way, so charitably bestowed on me, Zeus.
That isn't to say he didn't have his moments of wrath, though. In all fairness to Disney, we're not sure an altruistic god of the underworld would have been quite as hilarious or memorable. Number 2. Maleficent, Maleficent.
Seize that creature!
Stand back, you fools!
Maleficent's story has been reworked several times, often portraying her in the role of the scorned woman seeking revenge. However, the live-action adaptation took this a step further by blurring the lines of good and evil. Although a young Maleficent is wary of humans, she befriends and later falls in love with a human called Stefan.
He told her it was true love's kiss. But it was not to be.
However, when the opportunity to become king arises, he betrays her and cuts off her wings. Devastated by the physical and emotional pain he caused, she turns the Moors into her dark kingdom, and we're left wondering, who here is really the villain? Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Ursula, the Little Mermaid. With the surprisingly minimal amount of screen time, we don't really delve into Ursula's backstory, or indeed why she holds a grudge against King Triton and his daughter.
In my day, we had fantastical feasts
when I lived in the palace.
Fortunately, this plot point is addressed in the Broadway musical, as we discover that Ursula and Triton are siblings who were meant to rule the sea together. As we learn in the song I Want the Good Times Back, Triton banished his sister after she used dark magic. It was later replaced by a new song called Daddy's Little Angel, which gave us a brand new backstory for Disney's brassiest undersea diva. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.